Somewhere along our
15-year journey together, my best friend became more than just that.
She became my family.
She became my family.
What I'm saying is we're all alike, with the colors of the rainbow. Share our pot of gold, with the colors of the rainbow. Everybody's on the yellow brick road. There's enough for you. There's enough for me, me. With the colors of the rainbow. With the colors of the rainbow.
We've been asked our very first question. This is kind of a momentous occasion. First question! Unfortunately, Casey couldn't be here with us. She's traveling for work. Boo. So we wanted to take the opportunity to sit down and answer the question kind of in a more conversational way, to where we're just going to kind of, We're just going to go with it. Haven't really, talked too much about, we read the question.
Discussed it a little bit, but.
Just a little bit, but we have no idea what we're going to get into here. So here's the question, and it's from Twinkle Wonder Kid 91.
Thanks so much for asking the question, by the way.
We appreciate it. Here we are. It says, after my girlfriend and I split, having to deal with her in order to still be a part of our daughter's life could be very upsetting and difficult due to fresh wounds. We understand. Over and over, people would ask why I don't just cut contact altogether. How do I explain that although my ex gave birth to her, she's still my daughter whom I could never abandon? And how do I do this without being angry?
Good question.
That's a tough one. That's a good question.
We didn't get the whole story, first of all, right? So we don't know everything. We don't know how long they were together.
Totally get if the friends were like, you guys have only been dating for like 3 months, if it's only been a short while and you're not really a parental figure, you're just like girlfriend and girlfriend. And it was a new situation that, I could understand the friend's point of view.
My thought, okay, again, I'm not assuming that you guys were together and then embarked upon the journey of having the child together. My assumption is that either way it doesn't matter. Whether you were with them from the beginning and you held their hand throughout the entire pregnancy and you were in the room and you cut the cord, or if you came into the situation where the child was already present, which is our situation. We got together and Destiny was already here. She was already 8. She was already in school. So that type of situation, if we were to break up and you were to bounce and you were to not have any sort of contact or be that parental figure with Destiny, or even make that effort, because I'm sure breakups are not easy. They are not easy. And having children added to the mix makes it that much more difficult.
It depends on if you guys were together or not together when the baby was born.
Yeah.
And not on her part, because I think she's doing the right thing.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
She, regardless on what the situation was,
yes,
when the baby was born, you're doing the right thing. You've got this.
But
it's in why her friends are saying that, right?
True. Yeah. Very true.
That's where it makes it different.
I can't imagine what you're going through, but again, kudos for sticking in there. And yes, you're going to have to deal with difficult times and difficult women. You're going to have to deal with that. Leaving your baby is not an option. My way to answer, so I'm kind of getting into the part of my answer to your question. So your question essentially is, how do I explain that even though you didn't give birth to your daughter, that you're still her mother and you could never abandon her? And how do you explain it without getting angry? So this is my advice to you. My advice is, you're going to have ignorant questions all the time. The life that we live is surrounded by ignorance. And even though there may be loved ones that ask you these questions, you have to to educate them. That is what our job is. You have to educate them, and you have to educate them in a way that they can relate. So what you do is, again, we're assuming that they're straight. Whoever's asking you this or telling you this, they're straight, because they don't understand the dynamics of the fact that you are still a parent, whether you're two moms, two dads, transsexuals, who cares?
Gave birth, adopted.
Who cares? You are still a parent. So you relate it to something that they could understand. Say you're married for 3 years, 4 years, who knows, however long it is. And this man is helping to raise your child, helping to give your child guidance, helping to show the proper morals and the proper character that you want to instill within your children. And then you guys get divorced. What happens? What happens? As society, we find it very foul and very disgusting for that man to walk away and not stay within that child's life. Why would it be any different for two women? I mean, that's my thought. That's how I feel about it. It doesn't matter if you created the child together or if you came into a relationship where the child already existed and you were that mentoring and that helping and that parental role. I don't think it matters. I think at the end of the day, if you call that kid your child, if you claim her as your own and that is your daughter, then you have a responsibility to continue to be in her life and continue to show her that, you know what, even though me and mommy, maybe we are not meant to be together, but you and I, that's something that will never change. That's something that will never change, no matter what our situation is. And that's my opinion.
It's not just a light switch that you can just, bloop,
right,
now you're not my kid anymore,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And especially for that child, if they are used to you being the parental figure and they call you mommy or mama or whatever it is, if they're used to you being in that role and you just walk away, it's like you've given up on them.
Obviously, from this question, we don't know what happened between the two, but
Yeah.
it's very important, I think, that you guys come to an agreement on co-parenting. Because I think that when the other people around you see that you guys are a team, even though you're not together, she's looking at you as another mom to this baby, then their questions aren't going to be so, they're not going to be so worried about you.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so.
So would your opinion change if, say, or Courtney and Casey's situation, okay? Courtney and Casey had Gibson together. He was planned out, they did everything together. Say Courtney and Casey split up and now Casey is dating me. And now I come into the situation and I become a parental figure to Gibson. We don't last too long and we split up. Now, do I still have any kind of anything over Gibson?
It depends on if, like in the scenario that you said, if Casey still said, yeah, Gibson, loved you and I would love for you to be a part of his life, but you have no parental say so.
My idea is if you're involved for a short period of time, you're not going to call Gibson your son. You've got to be a consistent presence for quite some time, and then for that to be reciprocated from the child. So yeah. I think that even if you're dating for a month, for 6 months, for a year, if you have a special relationship with the child, continue to be in the child's life, continue to be a friend, but you're not
if the parent allows that,
Sure, and that's where.
And then
the
what?
Conversations
say
with them come
the
into
biological parent is like, I don't want you to have any part. Then what?
Then you have to be respectful.
You've got to respect
be respectful.
those.
You have to remove yourself.
Yeah.
The only thing that we can go off of is what you've asked. So, all these different scenarios and these other options are really just kind of our imaginations running with the question. And we're picking up on clue words, and I think that it's important that we see that it's daughter.
Our daughter.
Yes. My daughter. She is still my daughter. And if that's how you feel,
hold on to
doing
it.
what you're doing?
it, no?
I think that's a great question.
I think that a
'Cause
lot
it's
of people want to know.
obviously provoked quite a conversation
Yes.
here, and we're throwing out different scenarios, and we're growing off of the question that you've asked, and I think that is a great question. And again, I go back to my opinion that, you know, whether it's been, I mean, daughter is a strong, strong word. And I think that if you're throwing around that word, then you need to do what you need to do, and you need to brave the elements of whatever's going to happen between
for sure.
you and the other parent, and stick by that child.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Okay.
Yay, kudos for you again.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so
for
much.
asking.
Again, that's Twinkle Wonder Kid 91. We definitely appreciate your participation, and we appreciate your support. So Destiny has an announcement to make. It's very important. I know that everybody's been sitting on the edge of their seats, just waiting to hear what she has named her two hamsters. Destiny, take it away.
I named them. One of them is Alvin, and he's like, he's longer, and he tries to run stuff.
He does try to run stuff.
And then the other one is Theodore, and he's fat.
He's not fat. He's healthy.
He's fluffy.
He's fluffy.
And he's short.
They're brothers, and we wanted to come up with a good name for them, and we observed them for a few days and just kind of checked out their habits and what they like to do and kind of how they interacted with each other.
They're really fast.
They're fast. They're cute. Cute. And their names definitely fit
Them.
their characteristics and physically, and the way that they interact with each other as well. So that's it. That's what Destiny's picked. Alvin and Theodore. But here they are. They're robo-dwarf hamsters. Cute, aren't they? Yeah, there they are. Bloopers. Bloopers. Chicken. Evidence.
This is gonna make the video, and Dia is gonna be mad.
Baby mama.
Second question.
Done.
The end.
Cut the clip. Over. Did you put your tea in my tea? You sure did. Don't look at me like that.
I don't know.
I know what's going on. I'm not done.
I like your shoes.
Classy.
Oh, we're ridiculous.
We should create a YouTube video about ourselves.
Okay.
Give me some dad.
I think that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It's
Oh! Lemon and cranberry goes good together.
48th question.
We can't do this.
Here.
Ditto. Big booty Judy?
Yeah.
Or just dangling? You must like it. You keep drinking it.
Not bad, right?
Because it's in front of me. That's what happened with you. Oh!
Stupid.
That's going in the bloopers.